Hey there folks, welcome back to another YouTube video. Today, things are going to be happening. I wish. I'm kidding. So, my last YouTube video that I posted, it is one of my most viewed YouTube videos besides a YouTube short. So, that's awesome. That's beautiful. Stay tuned because I'm loving this stuff. Woo! And I sure do hope that y'all loving it too. So my brother and I decided to swap out the transmission. So here we take off the wheels. In this next clip here, transmission's gone. Booyah. And then it's sitting right here with the one that we're gonna be throwing on it now. This one here is a 6.5-inch pulley. And this one right here is a 4-inch pulley. So it's gonna go way more faster. Right here, we have it up underneath there. And as you can see in the back, we took off the back so we can rig up a little gear shifter thingamajigger. Right there are my horrible welds. Sorry that I showed this. And then this is where we painted it. So yeah, here is neutral, reverse, back to neutral. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 gears. So that's pretty good. All right, we finally got the belt on and the tires are on. It's ready to go, except that there's one thing that it's missing. The brakes. But who needs brakes? Sorry that my camera's a little dirty. I took it for a little test drive. And this thing came loose, so I could not get the gears going. And the belt slipped right off because of this new pulley that I put in there. That brand new pulley. It's a little too high, so the belt slips off underneath it. So now we're going to take it off and put a couple washers in between, maybe about 4 or 5, and then it ought to work just fine then. So we're going to do that now. So right here, I put on this here pulley stopper, because the belt usually always kept on falling off, and as you can see there ain't no way how that belt can fall between there. Yeah, now we're going to take it for another test drive and make sure that she works okay. So how'd you feel?
Great. The only problem is she stalled.
Yeah, she stalls quite a bit.
Times.
Yeah, I kept up with you, huh?
Yeah. The great thing is I can do this.
Oh, there you go. Your arm just fits in there and you can pull start it. It's harder because the belt's tight. Right. So, what should we do with this thing? How are we going to make this thing go faster now?
I think I got an idea to make it not stall.
Okay, well, what is it?
Down in here. Okay. Down in here. This little tiny boy actually is bad at stalling. Good at stalling, I mean. Bad at running. So, what we're going to do is some very scientific stuff. I found that thing. And the engine runs.
It does.
So, the only thing you got to do is grab this one, smack it onto that one, and then try to make it run.
So, we're going to put this motor on there, right? Yeah, so that's the plan? I like that plan. All right, let's do it. Alright, so in the next clip, this motor's going to be gone. Alright, we got the motor off here. What do you think?
It's empty.
Yeah, there it is. Now we're going to go get the other 14.5 horsepower motor. Slap her on there. We're going to be using this here 14.5 horsepower motor on the old Red Murray in there. Alright, so I had to cut a whole bunch of it off to pull it out because I do not have a pulley puller. And we finally got it out from this piece of hunk of junk. It's off. Now we're going to have to take all that wiring and put it on here and take off all the wiring that is already on this thing, just to keep it safe and to not get anything mixed up really. So I'm going to do that now. Alright, I got all the wiring out, so now we're going to take all the wiring out of here and then just replace it with this. So yeah, I got all the wiring out now. Now we're going to put all this wiring in here, slap on the motor, and hopefully she will run today. Well, I took the hood off because that front part there hits on the front of the hood, so I couldn't shut it all the way, and it's even behind the bolt hole a little bit right there. So I'm going to be getting this hood out of here, out of the way. We're going to mount down the engine, do everything that we need to. I already got all the wiring in here. Almost ready to go. She's so close. Yo, So I'm gonna take off this carburetor because it's so gunky in there. And Zachary's old Craftsman back there, we're gonna be taking off that carburetor and we're gonna be throwing it on here because that one there is a 15.5 horsepower motor, and this one here is a 14.5 horsepower motor. And yeah, we're gonna just make that work somehow. So all we gotta do is take off this bolt and the other one on the other side, and then just taking it off the motor, disattaching it to the gas line. And so yeah, we're gonna be swapping it out now. So here is the original carburetor that was on her. A little dirty. And then here's the one that we're going to be using that came off of that 15.5 horsepower. It is just filthy. So we're going to get a little itty-bitty metal scraper. Then we're going to scrape it up and make it work. There we go. She looks a lot more better now. Nice and clean. So here's the old carburetor. I took it out just to take a little look at it, but it is just nasty, as you can see. I don't really want this on here. Well, I took it out, and right here is this little pin that lets gas in and that stops the gas, so that's pretty neat. So all that we really have to do is just get the bolt that came out of this one and shove it up in here if it fits. It fits perfectly, so now we're just going to slap her on, and then we should probably be good, so yeah. Well, I had to go steal this one off of my other lawnmower, this here little choke cable, because the one that I had on here fell down somewhere and I can't find it. I'll find it later on. But I hooked up everything now, and choke works, and the throttle cable works too, so that's awesome. And then now all we gotta do now is put on this plastic piece, connect this onto the bottom of it, and bolt it on, throw in everything else, and I believe that's just it then. There you go, the whole entire carburetor is on there, and this gas line is very tight because it just turns right around there. And usually the old one, the gas line went straight onto there. This one here is sideways, so that sucker's pretty tight. We got gas in the tank, some good old sweet tea right here. Pretty good. I finally got her to crank over. Booyah, we got her to crank over at least, so that's awesome. Okay, I put this here muffler on because it's pretty doggone loud. There we go. Turn up the throttle a little bit. Well, at least she runs. So I took this here little pin out of the bottom of this here carburetor that was on this here 11 horsepower motor. I'm going to put them right underneath here, right down there where that one is, because I can adjust it, how much gas that I'm letting in and out. So I'm just going to do that right now, and hopefully I'll be able to make it run a lot more steadier. So yeah. Well, that didn't work out like I planned to. You see all that wet stuff there? That's gas, and I got gas all over my hand. And this thing here is a little too big to butt up in there. So that just sucks though. Wasted a whole bunch of gas. Doesn't fit. So right now it's getting way too much fuel. That's what I'm thinking, because it's just straight right through. So that's the only problem that I can think of right now. So, well, since now we got her running and everything is 100% finished on her, except the muffler, that's mainly it. So the transmission, it just broke loose. So now all I'm going to do is I'm going to take off this whole thing. And I'm going to weld the crap out of it on the inside to make it stay. Alright, so I took this here old pulley that was originally on here, and I cut off the little tip right here, which is sitting right there. And I got this even more smaller pulley. So right here is like a It's between a 2-inch and a 3-inch pulley, and then right here is a 4-inch pulley. And I was thinking maybe we could use this thing to make it go a lot more faster. So all I gotta do now is put this right in the middle, and then weld her on there pretty good, and then slip her on, and then we should be in the gold. I finally got it all on, and to be honest, I just welded the whole entire inside. I just welded the whole entire crap out of it. And I understand that that's very, very bad for it, but she's on there and she will grip. Booyah. Well, now the transmission's back on. In the past few days, I had to change the oil because there was gas in the oil, and we put a nice good gas pedal on here. It works very, very nice, and we did a few extra things on it, and I fixed the carburetor because something went wrong with it, and I fixed that. And it seems that fuel is leaking right through, so I got to get a brand new gas shut off or whatever it's called. And yeah, so now we're going to go for a little ride and see how she runs. There's high gear right there again. I would say it is a little bit more faster. Oh boy. Oh. Alright. Now we're gonna go mud now. Woo! Holy mother Moses! Come on, climb, come on now. Woo! Alright, let's go home now. Well, she does pretty decent for going down the driveway, but then coming back up, the belt was slipping a little bit. And then going mudding, it actually did decent. Like the belt started slipping a whole bunch, so I had to put it into like a lot more of a lower gear. And then it grabs for some daggone reason. In the future, we're going to do a lot more crazier things with this build. And also, I just wanted to include why the lawnmower was always shutting off and then coming back on. It was because it was getting way too much fuel, and it just couldn't handle it, so then it just started shutting off, and then it would come back on. I'm not quite sure what that does, but all I know is it's just getting way too much fuel, so that's why it was always shutting off and back on. So yeah, and I sure do hope that y'all enjoyed this YouTube video, and if you guys want to keep on seeing more crazy content like this, stay tuned. And howdy. And in the next video, we're going to be working on my racing lawnmower because it needs a lot of things done before this winter comes. So we'll catch you on the next one. Woo!